Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hot Tech Tips. Today we're going to discuss the first Excel function that is listed in the list of functions when they list them alphabetically. If we click on the function and look at all, ABS. ABS stands for absolute value, and it returns the absolute value of a number, that is, that number without its sign, without its negative sign. So here is a table that we've set up. This is a timeline, or a line that we're going to use as far as talking about distance. The most use for absolute value is to talk about distance, because there's no negative distance. You can't go out for a walk and walk -1 mile. That's always relative to maybe how far you walked the previous day. So like this runner or walker A right here went 5 units and then went back 4 units. So that would be like starting here at 1, walking 5, then going back 1, 2, 3, 4, then going +7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then going back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then going ahead 6, then going back 2, then going back 1. So if you just wanted to add these numbers up, we could sum these. And the sum of all these numbers, when you add the positive and the negatives together, would be 10. Now we can take this formula here, copy it, paste it here. This one is 5 when you add all these up. And then paste again. And this one is -8. But that doesn't tell you that this person walked farther than this person or this person, because we're not looking at the absolute value of how far they walked. A person may have walked to mile marker 5, walked back to mile marker 2, walked ahead to mile marker 8, but this isn't the absolute distance. So to do that, we will use the ABS formula. So we'll click in this cell right here. It's a very simple formula. And we'll click Insert Function, ABS. And you see here is the setup of it. It's ABS and then the number that you want the absolute value of. So we'll click OK. And which number do you want? We're going to say this number right here, C3. Okay. Now, here's a little information about the Excel. Do you see how my cursor is a large white plus sign? When it gets onto the border here, you can drag. And this little thing where it turns into a thin black cross is what they call the fill handle. The fill handle lets you quickly copy from that cell. So instead of doing Control Copy, Control Paste to get the absolute value, I can grab this fill handle and drag that down, and it will perform that copy all the way down that list. And if you see here, it referenced C3, here it referenced C4, here it referenced C5, and that's all the way down. And that's called relative addressing. We'll have another lesson about relative and absolute addressing. So now if I click on this and copy it to here, I'm going to get that it's referencing B3 instead of A3 because it's relative addressing when I copy it. So now I can grab the fill handle, drag it down, get the same absolute value of each of these numbers. It just removes the negative sign. And then now what if I did this? Copy this entire range and then paste it over here. Do you think it'll copy all those relative formulas? Yes, it does. So now with this information, we can find out who walked the farthest. So let me get I didn't want this information here. Let's see. I'll delete this, my absolutes. Okay, so now we're going to we can just sum these. Equal, you start with an equal sign when you're going to enter your own formula. Sum, parentheses, all of these. Enter. 32 units this person walked. So now I can just copy this, paste it here, and paste it here. And we can see that B in absolute units, miles, feet, or whatever, actually covered the most ground. So that's absolute value. It's a very easy function. Hope that you got a lot out of that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here. And I appreciate you watching these lessons. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.